Imagine for a moment, school day's over, students gone, classroom's quiet.
Right.
But for you, maybe the work's not done. You're still there, wrestling with spreadsheets, maybe chasing down paper forms, handling billing emails, long after hours. Does that sound familiar? If it does, well, you're definitely in the right place. In this deep dive, we're pulling back the curtain on some of the persistent, often really overwhelming challenges that school managers, educators, administrators across the U.S. face every day.
Yeah, it's a common story, unfortunately.
And our mission here at DreamClass really is not just to talk about these pain points, but to explore the solutions that are emerging. We want to show you how a targeted approach can bring clarity, kind of cut through that chaos.
Exactly. It's about freeing up those valuable hours.
Yes, empowering you to get back to what really matters, right?
Yeah.
Your passion for teaching, for mentoring.
That's precisely our shared mission. As a team, we've seen firsthand how these administrative burdens can really hit hard, especially for, small private schools, founder-led K-12 institutions.
They often divert precious resources, don't they?
They do. Energy, too. So we're going to set the stage by really understanding the systemic issues. We'll draw on observations, data from across the sector.
Okay.
And then we'll show you how we at DreamClass have dedicated ourselves to addressing those issues directly.
We've all felt that grind, I think. But let's unpack this. What are these ongoing challenges that really stretch schools so thin? Because our research, observing schools, shows these aren't isolated incidents.
No, definitely not.
They're consistent pain points. Educators, administrators across the country mention them, like invisible chains almost.
That's a good way to put it. And drawing from our conversations, industry reports, one of the biggest is just administrative overload.
Okay. Explain that a bit.
Well, it's quite eye-opening, actually. Educators are spending upwards of 30% of their working hours on paperwork, data entry, manual reporting.
30%.
30%. And this isn't just, busy work. It's nearly a third of their time that's not spent on actual instruction.
Wow. Time not spent engaging with students.
Exactly. It fundamentally reshapes the role, contributes to burnout, which we see across the sector. Imagine the morale hit when your passion keeps getting sidelined by process.
30% is huge. And it's not just the amount of work, is it? It's often how it's managed.
Yeah.
Like dealing with a fragmented data.
Oh, definitely.
It feels like trying to manage a big event when everyone's using different communication tools, maybe. Walkie-talkies, cell phones, paper notes.
That's a perfect analogy, actually. Data fragmentation is a monumental drain. We consistently see student info trapped in these isolated silos.
Like where?
Spreadsheets scattered everywhere, buried in email chains, locked in old legacy systems that just don't talk to each other.
Right. Leading to errors.
Absolutely. Critical errors in enrollment, miscommunications about student needs, major compliance headaches sometimes. You just can't get a holistic view of a student's journey or even the school's operational health.
Hard to make good decisions then.
Exactly. You're missing pieces of the picture.
And when that vital information is scattered all over the place, it seems inevitable that communication becomes, a bit of a nightmare.
Communication gaps are another critical pain point we hear about constantly from school leaders.
How so?
Well, inconsistent platforms for parent-teacher updates. It just leads to frustration for everyone involved. Parents feel disengaged, maybe. Staff struggle to keep everyone on the same page.
And important stuff gets lost.
Crucial information can just fall through the cracks. And that erodes trust. It makes building that cohesive, supportive school community so much harder. Creates a kind of chasm, really.
Okay, so we've got the sheer volume of tasks, the chaos of fragmented data, the communication breakdowns. But what about the schools, especially smaller ones, dealing with all this without a dedicated IT team? Who ends up being the tech support?
That's a very real resource constraint. It's a common thread in our work, Small schools often don't have dedicated IT folks.
So teachers step in.
Right. The teaching staff, already stretched thin, end up doubling as tech troubleshooters. They're spending precious time fixing glitches, setting up systems, instead of focusing on their actual jobs.
That must be draining.
It's a drain on energy, time, and frankly, their professional satisfaction. Recognizing these systemic issues is so important because it really highlights the true impact of targeted solutions. These aren't just software tools, they're like an operational lifeline.
An emotional one too, maybe.
Yes, an emotional and operational lifeline for schools already pushed to their limit.
Okay, so we've laid out these really deep-seated pain points. They challenge the very heart of how schools run. Now, the big question, what are the solutions actually moving the needle? And how do they tackle the chaos we've discussed?
Right. Well, our approach at DreamClass is to provide a comprehensive cloud-based student information system, an SIS.
Okay, cloud-based
Meaning it's accessible from anywhere, it's secure, it scales with your school without needing complex hardware on site. We designed it from the ground up with integrated invoicing, attendance tracking, robust data management.
So it's all connected.
Exactly. It's not just putting things online. It's creating a single intelligent ecosystem designed specifically to tackle each of those pain points head on.
Okay, give me an example. How does it tackle, say, the administrative overload?
Take automated registration and invoicing. This feature alone is engineered to reduce those manual tasks by up to 80%.
80%?
80%. Imagine reclaiming that much time.
That's undeniably impressive. But, for many administrators, implementing a new system, changing old habits, that can feel daunting itself, right? Even with that promise of efficiency, how practical is it for a small team?
That's a completely valid concern, and we hear it often. Our goal is to make that transition as smooth as possible. The efficiency gains come because the system automates repetitive tasks.
Like data entry.
Like data entry, reconciliation, following up on invoices. Once a parent registers online, for instance, their data flows right into the system. Invoicing can be triggered automatically based on what they selected. It just drastically cuts down on that manual grind. It's about working smarter by letting the tech handle the rote stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. And for the fragmented data problem, info scattered everywhere, how do you bring that together?
That's where a centralized data hub comes in. Think of it like a single secure nervous system for your school.
A single source of truth.
Precisely. It doesn't just centralize data, it enforces data integrity. All student info, academics, contacts, financials is cross-referenced, updated in real time. This eliminates those fragmented records.
Fewer errors, better reporting.
Crucial for accurate reporting, swift decisions, and avoiding those compliance headaches we mentioned. Everything you need right there. Always current, always correct.
And what about closing those frustrating communication gaps, where messages get lost or parents feel out of the loop?
Our real-time notifications are key there. They ensure updates, announcements, critical info reaches parents and staff instantly, consistently, right through the platform.
So no more chasing emails or relying on paper notices.
Exactly. It fosters better engagement, keeps everyone informed without juggling multiple platforms. It helps build that stronger, connected school community where everyone feels in the loop.
You mentioned earlier the principal who was basically acting as IT support. For schools like hers, adopting any new system, even a beneficial one, might feel overwhelming without tech staff. How do you address that initial barrier?
That's precisely why we built a self-service portal focusing on intuitive design. It empowers users, parents, teachers, administrators to access the information they need when they need it without requiring dedicated IT support.
So they can do things themselves.
Checking attendance, viewing grades, updating contact info. Users can handle these tasks themselves. This significantly reduces the burden on school staff. It means fewer questions and more time for their core roles. Ease of use is really central to our design philosophy.
Okay, so these solutions sound great in theory, but what does this all mean for real schools, like the ones listening? Let's dive into some powerful transformations, see these features in action.
Absolutely. These aren't just theoretical benefits. These are real journeys for schools facing the same challenges many of you might be right now. Our first story is Sculla in Sugar Land, Texas.
Sculla. What was their situation?
Very typical for small schools. Patricia Samuelson, the sole administrator and a teacher, was juggling everything with a homegrown database on one computer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Unshareable, brittle, completely maxed out by registrations and invoices. It was a real bottleneck, slowing everything down. Patricia was working late into the night, every night.
That sounds exhausting. So how did DreamClass help Patricia get her time back and help Sculla scale?
We enabled Sculla to implement their very first fully online registration process and centralized invoicing across all 16 of their instructors.
That must have been a huge shift.
Monumental, moving from that single point of failure setup to a robust, accessible cloud platform.
And the impact. What really changed for them?
The results were truly transformative. Sculla slashed their registration time by 70%.
70%?
Yeah, which meant a huge reduction in stress, in manual work. Teachers got instant access to real-time rosters, improving classroom management, and crucially, Patricia reclaimed her nights and weekends. She went from constantly battling an old system to having her life back.
That's powerful, just lifting that administrative burden. Okay, let's move to Treasure State Academy in Great Falls, Montana. Their challenge was around attendance tracking after COVID hit. Sounds like paper systems just couldn't keep up.
It was pretty chaotic, yeah. Their attendance tracking was all paper-based. It became incredibly hard to manage, especially with more scrutiny post-COVID. The principal was literally doing it all tech support, form maker, gradebook clerk, just trying to keep afloat. It was completely unsustainable.
So what was the DreamClass solution for Treasure State?
We delivered an affordable, cloud-based attendance and billing system. This allowed parents and teachers to log in daily to record or view attendance, made the whole process transparent, efficient, auditable, really moved them into modern school management.
And the tangible impact. What did that mean for their community, their daily operations?
Well, Treasure State Academy reclaimed 2 full weeks per enrollment cycle.
2 weeks.
Significant administrative time they could redirect. They also cut missed attendance alerts by an incredible 90%. That didn't just streamline things. It helped restore community trust. Parents felt more informed, more secure.
90% reduction is huge. Okay, from daily operations, let's shift to American High School Academy in Miami. Their problem was decades of scattered records. That sounds like a historical data nightmare.
It really was. Imagine 2 decades of student records in physical boxes, old file cabinets, various spreadsheets on different computers.
No easy way to find anything.
No quick search, no real history tracking, definitely not sustainable long-term, just a data management headache getting worse every year.
How did DreamClass tackle that kind of deep historical challenge? Help them shed the paper burden?
We provided a fully paperless archive, transcripts right from day one, and crucially, we offered batch import support for their legacy data.
So they could bring everything over.
Exactly. All those historical records, however disparate, could be seamlessly integrated on the new system. It was about preserving their history while moving forward digitally.
And the impact on staff, on serving students.
The school achieved instant record retrieval. They completely eliminated 100% of the time spent on those file hunts, which had been a massive time sink. This freed up staff time to be reinvested directly into student support where it really belongs, instead of, administrative archaeology.
Our final case study is One World Now, a nonprofit educational organization facing unique challenges during COVID enrollment surges. That sounds like a pressure cooker situation for a nonprofit.
It absolutely was. Their data was fragmented across Google Sheets, QuickBooks, and under the pressure of unexpected enrollment surges, errors were mounting, staff were severely stretched, manual processes just couldn't keep up, threatening their core mission.
So what was the DreamClass solution in that high-pressure environment?
We unified their entire operation, enrollment, attendance, invoicing, transcripts, all brought into one intuitive platform. It pulled all those disparate data sources together into a cohesive, manageable system, letting them handle the surge without breaking.
And the measurable impact, especially for a mission-focused organization.
The result was centralized data integrity. That led to an impressive 85% error reduction across their operations.
85%.
And most importantly, it allowed their staff to refocus on their mission-driven programming instead of being bogged down by data issues. They could dedicate their energy back to educating and empowering students globally.
These are really incredible stories. They clearly show consistent benefits across different kinds of schools. So if we distill the overarching lessons, what are the core takeaways listeners should remember? What were the recurring struggles, and what did DreamClass consistently provide?
Looking across these cases, the primary pain points addressed were consistently those manual processes, the siloed systems, and the billing delays. These are the recurring headaches that just sap energy and time from educators everywhere. They're fundamental barriers.
And the DreamClass solutions that proved to be the consistent game changers.
Our core solutions revolve around that cloud-based SIS, the integrated invoicing, and having real-time data access. These are the foundational tools enabling those deep transformations, moving schools from reactive problem solving to proactive, efficient operation.
Which brings us to the core benefits, the measurable, tangible impact on their daily lives.
The benefits are clear and measurable, yeah. Significant time savings, often up to 70%. Substantial error reduction, sometimes up to 90%. And ultimately, stronger school communities because staff can focus on people, not paperwork. It's about empowering staff to do what they do best, educate.
Now, hearing these results, you might have some practical questions about, implementing a system like this? We hear these often from school managers, educators, administrators like yourselves. For instance, how long does onboarding actually take? Is it a massive disruption?
That's a very common and understandable question. We know time is precious. Schools can't afford long downtime. Our system is designed for rapid deployment. Most schools are actually up and running within, say, a few hours to a few days for the basic setup.
Really? That fast?
For the basics, yes. Now, for more complex situations, especially depending on how much legacy data needs migrating, it might take up to 2 weeks to get everything fully integrated. But it's designed to be a quick, efficient transition, minimizing disruption.
That sounds much more manageable than people might think. What about all those existing spreadsheets or old databases? Can schools import that historical data, or do they start from scratch?
Oh, absolutely. We know schools have years, sometimes decades, of data in various formats. DreamClass fully supports bash imports from common formats like CSV and XLSX exports.
So you don't lose that history.
No, you don't lose anything you've built up. Instead, it gets integrated into a more powerful, searchable, and sustainable system.
And once a school is live, up and running,
Yeah.
what kind of ongoing support can they expect? Because partnership matters.
Right, definitely. We pride ourselves on comprehensive support. That includes 24/7 email support for non-urgent things, convenient chat assistance for quick questions or troubleshooting,
And for bigger issues.
and for issues needing more personalized live help or maybe strategic guidance, we assign a dedicated customer success operative to your school. We're really there to help you every step of the way, making sure you get the most out of the system.
So imagine what your school could achieve when paperwork no longer steals your valuable time. Picture your staff re-energized, operations smooth, focus firmly back on students, where it belongs.
We truly believe your school could be the next DreamClass success story. We really encourage you to book a free demo today. See for yourself how it can streamline operations, elevate parent satisfaction, maybe even reignite your passion for education. It's a chance to experience that clarity firsthand.
Just think about the profound impact an 80% reduction in manual tasks could have on your staff's morale, on your students' learning experience. What new initiatives could you pursue? What programs could you launch? What kind of innovative environments could you create if those administrative burdens were dramatically reduced? Something to consider.